So by the time I arrived to my college campus as a first-year student, there had only been one person who had ever cut my hair, and that was my mother. And I've told that to people, and I get a weird reaction, but it's just kind of how it was just kind of always how it was. I guess we probably started when I was really young, and we just never stopped. And so my mom always cut my hair, like through grade school, through high school. You know, and people would say, hey, who cuts your hair? I'd say, my mom. And it was just never a big deal. And my mom was not a stylist. She was not a barber. My mom was a nurse, a fabulous nurse. But she did an amazing job. She became like my personal stylist. She was wonderful. And I went through high school through the 80s and considered myself a bit of a fashion-forward style icon for my high school peers, and she had to respond to that. And my mom didn't watch MTV, so when my hairstyle had to turn into the lead singer for Kaja Gugu hairstyle, you got me? She responded, but I had to describe it, because she didn't know who Lamal was. And I said, so you're going to leave it long in the back, Mom, right? And it's got to be short and kind of come above the ears, and it's got to be really kind of sprouty, spiky on top. That's what I need. And we have a word for that hairstyle today, but in the 80s, it was just an awesome hairstyle. And she delivered. She delivered. And she never said, You sure you want this is where you want to go with this? She's just like, all right, this is how Troy's gonna wear his hair, and I'm gonna do my best. And she did a wonderful job. And if you look at my senior picture, you can see it, that she did a wonderful job. And that's not even the first or the best story of how my mom allowed me to express myself and celebrated my expression of self. I'll flash back a few years before that, and I think this will get us to more of the theme of tonight. I was the second of four brothers in a very Catholic family. So my older brother would always hit the Catholic milestones 1 year ahead of me. So when he was in the 7th grade and I was in the 6th grade, he was getting ready for his sacrament of confirmation. This is the sacrament that kind of welcomes you into the church as an adult. Right, you're a grown-up member of the church now. And so I always got to watch my brother do this stuff a year ahead of myself. And we were coming upon the day, and my mom kind of realized that my good clothes didn't fit me anymore. And she said, we're going to have to take you clothes shopping, so that you can look good for your brother's confirmation. I was like, all right. And then she said, and you can pick out whatever you want. I was like, all right. And this is really the first memory I have of her kind of giving me that. I had a Catholic school uniform, so I didn't have a lot of choice most of the days, and the other stuff was jeans and T-shirts. So this was the first time I can recall her giving me that amount of autonomy. This is 1978. So picture JCPenney's in 1978, because that's where we walked into. And I found what I was looking for almost immediately. I found this pair of white polyester slacks, and then this shiny silver spread collar shirt, right? Staying alive was the inspiration. And she's like, yeah, no, let's do this. But she said, no, your shoes are fine, and your belt is fine, so we're not getting those. So I knew I was going to have to make this work with brown shoes and a brown belt. But whatever. I got my pants and my shirt, so I was good to go. And she let me put it on. I don't know what my dad said. My dad was always a little more reserved when it came to my self-expression, a little more wincy. But the day came, and so our church, it's a long church from front to back, and the first probably 5 or 6 pews were reserved for my brother and his classmates, and we would have the regular mass, and then we would have the extra bonus kind of stuff afterwards where they would get their confirmation. And my dad always liked to sit really as far front as he could. And so in my memory, in my mind's eye, this is how I remember kind of my grand entrance, right? I remember my brother was already sitting up front with his peeps, and we walked in through the back of the church, and I remember, like, I'm going to take center stage here, because that's what church is all about. And, so I had a parent on each of my shoulders kind of back here, and then my two younger brothers. So we had this, like, V formation, and I was feeling my swagger, right? Walking down the aisle. You could tell by the way I walked that I was a boy's man, a woman's boy. No time to talk. So Mass happened, and then the confirmation ceremony happened, and then there's this kind of period afterwards where everybody's kind of reuniting, right? Their parents are finding their kid, and congratulations, oh, welcome to the church, all that kind of stuff is happening. And one of my brother's friends pulls me aside, I guess emboldened by his new leadership role in the church, and he pulls me aside, and he says, I don't think your outfit is all that appropriate for a Mass. And I don't think I said anything. I was just kind of like buzzkill, right? He's harshing my vibe. And but I remember the moment. I remember this guy pulling me, like a 7th grader telling a 6th grader what is and what isn't appropriate for church. And I'm about to go through the same classes that you just went through. And I think I'm going to be all right in my silver shirt, right? So maybe I popped a button, and let my singular chest hair, send a message. I don't know. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But I remember the moment, and I remember kind of feeling bummed out about it. And that's kind of where I want to, the difference between my mom's celebration and this guy's kind of buzzkill is where I don't think we're fully human, if you will, maybe until we're given that opportunity to truly and boldly kind of express our true self. And I don't think we're truly human until we get to that point where we're willing and able to allow others to express and boldly express their full true self. And I'm just kind of, as thankful as I am for my mother's unconditional willingness to let me do that, I'm as thankful for this guy, my brother's friend, for kind of interrupting that so that I get to appreciate the fact when it does happen. And I think those have allowed me to choose people in my life who are more like my mother and celebratory. Thank you.